Do you have a next witness?
Yes, Your Honor. The state calls Jay Murtaugh. Marshal Bowen, would you mind standing in between the witness and the judge throughout the entirety of this direct examination? Yeah.
Judge, I object to any testimony from this witness. In all seriousness, he is a completely unreliable witness. I'm prepared to voir dire the witness if that's the procedural way we wish to go about it, but this man's testimony has no place in a court of law.
Well, Mr. Ali, what's your response to that?
My response to that is we're not hiding anything from this jury. We agree that this witness is a dirty, corrupt cop, and if opposing counsel wants to voir dire this witness on that, that's fine with us, Your Honor. But that does not preclude his testimony from coming in, Your Honor. The jury still deserves to hear it.
Mr. Resnek?
He's not only a dirty cop, he's a serial liar who has lied to every level of government. In an institution of truth like this, it's totally inappropriate to have him come here. And I have my investigators have uncovered several statements from the past, sworn statements that he's made, where he's clearly manipulating this jury, or about to try to manipulate this jury, and it's totally inappropriate.
Mr. Resnek, the way I see it, Mr. Ali just said that he's totally fine having you voir dire the witness first. Did I hear that right, Mr. Ali?
Yes, Your Honor, we're fine with that. We still maintain our argument that a witness's bias or past instances of lying does not preclude their admissibility. That's a matter of weight, not admissibility.
I'm ready to rule that the witness will testify, but Mr. Resnek, it's your choice to either voir dire him now and cross him. It's your choice. What do you want?
I'd like to voir dire him now.
Your witness.
And please, Judge, if possible, I would like to do this without the jury present, because it's that sensitive, I think.
So we'll constructively, they're gone.
Yo, you're a rat.
Nice to meet you, too.
No. That's not how this works. I ask you questions and you answer them.
Okay, wise guy, ask me another question.
It's not wise guy, and you don't tell me to ask you questions.
Okay, so it's just lecture here. I fly for 12 hours and you start yelling at me? Okay. Ask your question, come on.
Rat?
No.
You're not here to tell on your fellow officer?
I'm here to answer whatever questions you and all these other lawyers are going to ask me. If you want me to talk, I want to talk.
What's a rat to you?
It's a vermin.
You're a vermin, aren't you?
You know where I come from and got a name for guys like you.
My investigators uncovered a couple statements that you've made in the past. You ready to hear some of them? And
There's a charming and witty as you.
What we're going to do is play a little game of truth or lie, okay? And I'm going to say a statement, and all I want you to do, keep it real easy, you're going to say either truth or lie, okay?
I love games.
First time you talked to the FBI about this exact case, do you tell the truth or do you lie?
I lied.
Second time you talk to the FBI about this case, you tell the truth or you lie?
I lied again.
First time you talk to your union president about this case, truth?
I lied.
First time you talk to internal affairs about this case, truth or lie?
I lied.
When you file your IRS tax returns, truth or lie?
That's just a thing that you do.
It's what I do or it's what you do?
I file my tax returns.
And did you tell the truth on them or do you lie?
Oh, I lied.
Your creditors, who you said you'd pay back the money, is that true or is it a lie?
They seized my money. I couldn't pay that one back. That's a lie.
Your fellow officers you swore to be loyal to, truth or lie?
I lied every day for 7 years.
You lied on police reports, right?
Yes, sir.
You lied in sworn statements, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
You lied on evidence collection tags, didn't you?
Yes.
You're a dirty cop, aren't you?
I'm not a cop no more.
When you were a cop, you were crooked, weren't you?
Truth.
You think that's okay?
No, I don't. I'm serving my time.
You've had some time to think while you're serving your time, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been in solitary.
And you've actually issued at least one sworn statement while you've been serving time, haven't you?
I wrote an affidavit.
You've been thinking about your best options with regard to testifying today, right?
Yeah.
Actually, one of the statements you wrote is, if you're going to give yourself up, you might as well get something out of it.
I did. I got a plea deal.
You put the average person in a courtroom with a cop and a drug dealer, who do you think they'll believe?
I believe a cop.
What about a cop who's a drug dealer?
I don't know.
That's the first thing you don't know.
I don't know what they're gonna believe, man.
But you've thought about what they might believe, huh?
I hope. I don't know.
You hope what?
I look. I've been on the other end of this. This ain't easy. I don't know, man. Put me through the ringer.
Well, what do you hope?
I hope that you're gonna ask me a question that I thought I was gonna be. I get you like a cheese grater. There, rats like cheese.
Do you really think you're a trustworthy person the jury should listen to?
They can choose if they wanna.
No, but what do you think?
I don't know.
Well, you've taken police reports, right?
I
All of
have.
a sudden, you don't know.
I have.
How about this? Take your
Okay.
time, think about it. Let us know when you know.
I've been studying some philosophy. It's a federal prison, so they got like some books and stuff, and I never read it. But I don't know, maybe someone, but I get it if they don't. So I'm figuring it out.
So you don't know enough whether to say the jury should trust you, the jury can trust you?
I know enough to know now that I don't control nobody but myself.
Okay, that's I got nothing further for this witness. I would just move to argument.
Have you heard, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, if Pinocchio looks outside and tells you that the sun is out, it doesn't mean the sun isn't out. Opposing counsel's argument goes to weight. He can talk about how unreliable this witness is on summation. But just because someone has lied before in the past does not automatically mean that they're lying in this case, Your Honor. We'd ask that the witness be allowed to testify on direct examination.
Mr. Resnek.
I wasn't listening too close to that, but I don't believe I deserve to be called Pinocchio.
I was not calling opposing counsel Pinocchio. For the record.
I heard Pinocchio. Maybe I misheard. It's not just that he's a liar. He's clearly a liar. He seems to be proud of the fact that he's lied for 7 years, hundreds of times. That's not the problem. The problem is that he's admitted, like it's nothing, he has admitted to lying to every level of government and even NGOs and
IRS.
branches of government within certain branches of government. I counted 8, from the feds to local to state to union to FBI, IRS, creditors, private institutions. He's not just a serial liar. He lies in every venue he's given a possibility to testify in. What's more, he's clearly been thinking about his testimony to the jury. And the best evidence of this is, I asked him if he thinks he's trustworthy enough to go to the jury. He couldn't answer that. It was the only time he said, I don't know. Rather than some snarky answer, yo, you're cute, no, yes, no, yet. The only time he said, I don't know. Why did he say, I don't know? Knows the only part of that answer I heard, because he's not trustworthy enough to go to this jury. A court of law is an institution of truth. And to have this guy come before that jury with that kind of record of lies and with that kind of proof in his own admitted statement that he doesn't even know if he's credible enough to talk to the jury, it makes a mockery of this courtroom, Judge.
May I be heard, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'll give you a reason to trust this dirty, lying cop. And just to clarify, Your Honor, witness isn't hearing what I'm saying, right?
No.
This witness may be a liar. They may have lied dozens of times, hundreds of times, thousands of times. But the reason we can believe this witness in this examination is, if I may proffer, Your Honor, this witness is going to talk about an interaction that he could not have known unless it was true. Because he's going to be talking about something that he and the defendant did to an old woman named Courtney Rudd. And the reason we can trust him, Your Honor, is because he's been sitting in a 6x8 prison cell, and he could not have known that Courtney Rudd would be coming forward in front of this jury to testify about what this witness and what the defendant did to her. There is no way that he could have lied about that story unless he knew that it actually happened, Your Honor. He's been in a prison cell. For that reason, Your Honor, we should be allowed to continue.
Judge, in that case, I would ask an ex parte hearing to Voir Dire about the confidential communications between attorney and client, because I have every reason to believe that these people have prepped this man. And the idea that they want to come here and say they haven't talked to him about what's going to happen at trial, bogus. That is inappropriate. And I ask permission to be able to ask the witness about his confidential, otherwise privileged communications with counsel.
Response, Your Honor?
Yes.
Frankly, I'm shocked
Get over
that a
it.
public defender like Mr. Resnek would accuse a prosecutor of going behind his back and conducting ex parte communications with the witness, Your Honor. That you have zero evidence for that. This is highly irregular, and it shouldn't be allowed.
They worked
It's
out
all
a
right.
plea
It's
deal.
all right, Mr. Resnek, Miss Early. Take a moment. I got an easy fix. You guys want to see a round 2 of a voir dire? Yes or no? Yes. You got your voir dire.
Rat.
You talking to me?
Have you had some time to think about whether you're credible enough to get to the jury?
What are you talking about?
Do you think the jury should believe whatever you have to say to them?
I think I flew out a long way, and if I'm not going to talk to him, you can just let me go back to the cell.
No, I'm asking about what you think.
I think that I'd like to say whatever you're going to ask me. Just ask it, please.
Have you ever talked to the prosecutors about this case?
Well, I made the plea deal.
What kind of negotiation was that?
It was my attorney. They came back with the thing to sign it. They said I had to make an affidavit.
Was it this gentleman, or were they different prosecutors?
It was a guy who kind of looks like me, actually.
I see. And so you had a chance to talk to him at the plea deal, right?
My attorney did the talking. I signed it.
And have you since then had any conversations with them?
No, sir.
Did they ever tell you what might happen at a trial?
Well, I could testify. That's in the plea deal.
What exactly is in the plea deal?
I'd say what is in my affidavit.
What's in the plea deal, I'm saying?
Oh, so if I don't do the plea deal, it could be up to 20 years.
Yeah, about testifying, though. There's something in the plea deal about testifying?
That I would testify. I don't know what you mean.
Okay, so there's something in the plea deal where you have to testify here in order to be in compliance with your plea deal, right?
Yeah, I'd say what's in the affidavit.
Okay, and so that you had a conversation about testifying here today with the district attorneys, right?
My lawyer said I'd get on a plane, they'd fly me out.
Were you there with the lawyer when the district attorney was there?
Yeah.
Where did it happen?
It was back in the federal prison, sort of like a room that was like kind of off to the side.
Okay, and what you're saying is that there was no discussion of actually what would happen at a trial by then?
I've testified before when I was on the force, so I know what happens at a trial.
That's right. Have you ever testified for these prosecutors before?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Judge.
Response, Your Honor?
Yes.
I think opposing counsel's line of questioning has made it clear that this witness has not had ex parte communications with us. I also took a look at the plea deal while opposing counsel was asking that question, and I see a signature there, Your Honor. Counsel for the defendant, they signed that plea deal, Your Honor. They knew this was going to happen. The witness should be allowed to testify.
Mr. Resnek?
Yeah, I'm ready to cross, so we can.
All right.
We can.
All righty. I don't believe there's any ex parte communications as well, but we'll see about that.
I would just like to publish, if I could, the text of the transcript of the voir dire to the jury.
I believe that's necessary given the ugly nature. And yes, Mr. Resnek.
Thank you. And now, thank you for shielding the jury from that fierce interaction. We can bring the jury back.
Mr. Lee?
Yes, Your Honor.
Direct.
Let's take a step back. We're on record now. State your name.
J. Murtaugh.
Mr. Murtaugh, what is your most recent occupation?
I was a police officer.
Are you still a police officer?
No.
Why?
I broke the law. I would take drugs and money that belonged to defendants, and I would take it for myself.
Did anyone help you?
Yeah. There was a lab tech named Bartholomew, and there was my partner, Gene Riggs.
I want to focus in on a very specific name. Rudd. Do you recognize that?
Like Paul Rudd?
No, Courtney Rudd.
Yeah.
How do you recognize the name Courtney Rudd?
She's an old lady, maybe in her 60s or something. Gene and I busted her for possession maybe 7-8 years ago, and when she got out, we realized we could use her.
Before we talk about how you and the defendant used Courtney Rudd, I want to make something very clear for the members of the jury. While you've been in prison, have you had access to a cell phone?
No.
Email?
No.
Text messages?
No.
Sir, while you've been in jail, have you had any kind of communication with Courtney Rudd?
I haven't talked with her. Even if I had a phone, she didn't seem like she was that great at using it.
Now, sir, you do understand that you're under a penalty of perjury today, right?
Yeah.
You understand that if you lie, you could lose your plea deal.
You too?
Is that a yes or a no to my question?
Is it gonna be like it again?
Sir, this isn't your stage. Answer the question.
It's not Yes.
You understand that if you lie, not only Mr. Resnek, but myself will ask this judge to put you in...
I've had it up to here with being called a liar.
Okay, all right.
We're cool.
Are you testifying truthfully, yes or no, sir?
Yes.
And I want you to answer my question very carefully. How did you and the defendant use Courtney Rudd?
When we busted her, she had a contact, a guy named Alex. We thought that guy could have a lot of drugs. So we thought maybe if I go and I arrest some of Alex's drivers, then we can take Rudd, use her as the new driver, and then seize the drugs when she gets them. That's what we did.
So, sir, did you make that plan with the defendant?
Yeah, it was, I get the drivers, she gets Rudd.
Sir, are officers like yourself, former officers, supposed to record any of the drugs or cash you seize in evidence logs?
Yes.
Did you do that?
No.
Did the defendant do that for what you took from Courtney Rudd?
No.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Your witness, Mr. Rez.
Good afternoon, Mr. Murtaugh. How are you, sir?
I was be daydreaming right now, man.
What's the problem?
Didn't you just...
Judge, can we take a brief recess in order to resolve this problem outside the presence of the jury?
Yes.
Tell him. Can you please explain to him he can't do that?
Yeah. You can't do that. Answer the man's questions. Earlier, the jury wasn't present. Now the jury's here, okay?
I got it.
You got it? You sure?
I'll be
Rat.
so nice.
Rat. Thank you, Judge. Sir, my apologies. I had to use the bathroom.
No problem.
Jail's kind of tough, huh?
It's a terrible place to be an ex-cop.
You get threatened, don't you?
Guy said that he would shiv me, and he was smiling about it.
Ooh. I'm sorry that happened to you, sir. That must be really tough to deal with, huh?
I don't love it.
You, sir, were on the Midlands Police Department when there was a sort of controversy about some cops doing some bad stuff in the department, weren't you?
Yes, sir.
There was a situation where drugs were being taken from the drug locker, right?
Right.
And in addition to that, there was money being stolen from the same locker, true?
Yeah.
And a police officer or officers was, in addition to that, filing false police reports on certain criminals in order to cover up their own conspiracy, basically, right?
You're talking about what I did.
So you're guilty of doing that, right?
Yes, sir.
And you've accepted responsibility, right?
Yeah.
You haven't tried to conceal that you did that ever, right?
No, sir.
Well, no, but you did, though, right?
No, I'm saying I did conceal it.
Yeah.
I lied.
Right. 'Cause the first time you talked to the FBI was about this same conspiracy, right?
Right.
An agent who you were familiar with came by your house, right?
Yes, sir.
And together you decided to move to another location, I think?
His was Peyton Travis.
Right, and you decided to move to another location to have a discussion, true?
That's right.
You actually moved to the public park, right?
We did.
The agent had a badge, right?
That's right.
You knew this was an agent of the federal government, didn't you?
I recognized Agent Travis as a Fed, yeah.
Were you worried at that point?
I was a bit, yeah.
What was going on inside at that point?
I was feeling like they might know something that I did, and I thought maybe I could, maybe I don't say everything, maybe they move on. I don't know.
What was it in you that sort of formulated that plan, rather than, for example, I'm just going to come clean?
Because I've seen how some people in my county get treated when they just come clean the first time.
You know, some people don't commit crimes like this even for the first time, right?
Most people don't.
Most cops aren't dirty cops, right?
That's true.
And there's a good amount of people who just don't lie on principle, right?
Yeah.
That ain't you.
I lied for years and years.
And you're all right just lying. It doesn't. You're a religious man. Do you have any kind of prohibition on lying inside, or is it all just kind of fair game?
I've been trying to read up on religious stuff. I wasn't raised religious, but there's some things in prison that I read, and I think maybe if I went a different way.
You've been skimming the Bible, and now you're ready to come clean, right?
It's actually.
Your Honor, at this time, I have to object under Rule 610. May I be heard?
Yes.
Your Honor, evidence of a witness's religious beliefs may not be used to bolster or attack a witness's credibility. I think this line of questioning is taking it one step too far.
The witness just said he's been reading the Bible, and now he's ready to be truthful. It's totally fair game. It's really spiritual, if anything. It's principled as opposed to religion. I don't care if he believes in God. He's been reading the Bible. To me, is a work of art.
Well, I want to say that Mr. Lee is completely correct on 610, but let's move on, and I won't sustain the objection.
So now, today, August 7, we're getting the truthful Murtaugh, or is this the lie? Which one is this?
Everything I'm telling you, I'm saying. You asked me about the Bible and stuff. I'm saying what's happened. I haven't read the New Testament. I'm still on the old one.
Whether now this is all true, all that stuff you just said about Rudd, and you haven't talked to anybody, you can't text, all that stuff is true.
Yeah, I can. I got my phone calls. I got to pay the commissary to do. I don't get a cell phone.
One question about, before I forget, the Mystique nightclub by any chance?
I actually worked there with Riggs.
Riggs is going to testify, so I want to know before he testifies whether you ever sold drugs at the Mystique club or not.
I have to object. We had a very clear discussion at the beginning of this trial about not violating sequestration. Opposing counsel is now suggesting to this witness what another witness might or might not say, Your Honor. That is a clear violation.
No, I didn't tell this witness what that witness is going to say.
Yeah, all I heard is Riggs is going to testify. So I want to ask you a question. Did you sell drugs, right?
At a club called Mystique.
Mystique, yeah.
May I respond to that, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, it was very clearly suggested to this witness that the defendant is going to be talking about Mystique. Opposing counsel did not need to bring up that they're going to be calling the defendant to the witness, if not for suggesting that.
We can strike that. I didn't mean to do that.
Sure,
That's fine.
yeah,
I
sure.
Just want to know whether you ever sold drugs at a club.
Sorry. No, I understand. Yeah, we'll strike that 3 or 4 words. All right?
Yes, Your
Honor. So whether you ever sold drugs at a club named Mystique.
No, I worked there as like a bodyguard, kind of like security.
Riggs, you know the defendant, right? You're sitting pretty close to her.
I know her. She's right there.
She's the suspect in this case now, right?
She's the defendant.
And she was actually not a suspect until you mentioned her name, right?
I don't know.
Well, you did mention her name.
I did. I don't know if they were looking into her before or not, though.
Do you have any reason to believe they were looking into her before?
Yeah.
What's that?
The whole police department was being looked into, I think. She was my partner. She was with me most of the day. And then after we finished work, she was with me at night at the nightclub. I'd be shocked if they weren't looking into her.
Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering whether you know of any particular fact that would tell you that they were. Rather than you being shocked if they weren't. But, I appreciate your time, sir. I have no further questions right now. Thank you.
You redirect?
No, Your Honor. We'd ask for the witness to be taken back to his holding cell.
All right, bailiff, make the room vermin free. Thank you.